Hello, my name is Estibala Morgan, and today I will be giving a tour of my garden. Disclaimer, this is my family's 2.5-year-long DIY project, so it's a little rougher on the edges. Let's get started with the flower bed. Over here we have our little bird station. Here we have our bird house and some decorative pieces. Over here we have a bunch of shells. I have this little hobby of whenever I go to a beach, I bring back some shells, some sea glass, some interesting looking rocks. And these are pretty much from Keensburg Beach here in New Jersey, from Lake Michigan when I used to live in Chicago, from Galveston Beach when I used to live in Texas, and from various other beaches and rivers in Indiana and in North Carolina. Here we have a doorknob. Fun fact, this area, the dirt that you see here used to be from a construction site. So we got that, and we also found some interesting construction pieces such as bricks, these cinder blocks over here, this doorknob, some tiles and glass, and various other things. Moving on, over here we have a bunch of decorative flowers. This is Chinese chive, and this is some onions. So you'll see like a diaspora of different types and variations of a bunch of different herbs, flowers, plants, etc., etc. Moving on, this is a fun little decorative plant. If you put a little bit of pressure on one of the seeds, it pops open and releases its seeds, which is pretty cool. That's how it disperses its seeds. Coming over here, we have a blueberry plant. It is still growing. It is trying its best. Inside, you'll see some tea bags. Apparently, it's good for blueberry plants. Over here is my bike. I should probably move it inside. It's starting to rust. Here we have more of that onions, that popping seeds. Here's a tiny little rose. And over here, we have two sunflowers. I think squirrels were trying to eat them, or deer. We sometimes do get deer, but we had to cover one of them because the other one was just fully gone, so we wanted to protect that one. Now let's move on to the main garden. So over here we have an archway with a bunch of different vine plants. This is the bottle gourd leaf, and this is the bitter gourd leaf. I'll show you the actual gourds later. Over on this side is where we keep some of our potted plants during the winter, and we wrap the entire outside with some plastic thermal wrap to keep them protected. But over here is our banana plant, which is really cool. It used to be really small 1 year ago, but now it's grown a lot bigger. Coming in over here, this is a type of Indian plant. Apparently it's really strong in iron and it's good for your health. It's pretty tall too. It's taller than me. Over here, if you look closely, there's some ginger. This is the ginger plant. Moving in over here, we have the balloon vine plant. I think you know where that name comes from. And this is the Indian version of a dandelion. It's pretty cute. I think it's actually a little bit more prettier in my opinion. You know, mind that it's okay, pause. So this really tall, actually wait, stop. This is a really tall plant. It is called the vegetable hummingbird. It is an Indian variation, and it's really rich in iron, apparently. Moving on, over here we have the balloon vine. I think you know where that name came from. These are its seeds.
Muranga.
Here we have moringa. It is a superfood, so it's really rich in a bunch of vitamins.
அதுவும் rich in iron
Iron.
and antioxidant.
Antioxidant. Okay, திரும்ப play பண்ணு. Just நான் இந்த மாதிரி புடிச்சுன்னு இருக்குது. Also rich in iron. It's a superfood, and it is an antioxidant. Over here we have என்ன பேர்?
அப்படி கேட்கலாமா?
Yes, ஏன்னா நான் edit பண்ண போறேன்.
Oh.
So நீ still புடி. அதான்.
இரு இப்போ இது ரெக்கார்ட் ஆயிங்குதா?
Yeah.
எங்க
pause. This is moringa. It is rich in iron as well, and it is an antioxidant, so it's good for your health. Over here we have the amaranthus, and here is the bitter gourd that I mentioned earlier. Here's another one over here, and these are its flowers. Down below here we have some strawberries. The strawberries are kind of out of season now, but you can see one is peeking out through here. It's not ripe yet. Here's a perfect example of the comparison between a Chinese version of the bitter gourd and the Indian version. This is the Indian version, it's a little bit more spiky, and this is the Chinese version. They're both delicious in their own ways. Over here on this table, we have the ash gourd. Liana.
ridge gourd.
And that over there is the ridge gourd. Here we have a tenacious vine that has grabbed on. Here we have a tenacious vine that has grabbed onto this decorative disco ball that we have here. Moving on. Down here we have a little piece of a potato. If you peek, you can see it right there. So there'll be some familiar plants. It's not all Indian or diasporic. I think there's a bird here. I want to startle it. Okay. Indian up here? Sword Bina. Okay. Over here we have variations of the sword bean. This is a purple flower and this is a white flower, but they're both sword beans. The purple flower produces purple beads. We can see that later over there on that side. And these really tall plants over here, up there?
Sorrel. Sorrel.
Sorrel. Okay. Idiwa. And this is the sorrel. It kind of looks like weed in a funny way, but it is not. I can assure you that. It is a really
Sorrel.
No, no.
Sour and rich in vitamins.
It is really